Hi guys, on tonight's episode of Jeannie's Kitchen Counter, I'm going to show you how to make pastelon, and in English you can translate that to plantain lasagna. So let's go over all of the ingredients and let's get started. So the star ingredient in this dish is going to be the plátanos maduros, which are the sweet plantains, okay? Now I know I'm not the only one out there, but I hate with everything that I have in me peeling plátanos. I hate it with a passion. So this right here saves me time and effort. I purchase them like this all the time, and trust me when I say that this is the way to go. You're gonna save your nails and you're gonna save a lot of time. Okay, so plátanos maduros. This brand is the one that I had purchased. The Goya brand is also good as well, so I highly recommend this. Now this here is the 4-pound bag. Now I'm going to cook them all just because not each and every piece is going to be worthy per se. So whichever ones I don't like, I'll go ahead and I'll push this to the side and use them for something else, but I'm only going to use the ones that actually come out exactly the way that I want them, and we'll talk about that later on in the video. Okay, so make sure you get these. You're going to need 1 pound of ground sirloin. You're going to need some parsley flakes, some capers, some seasoning. And when I talk about the seasoning here, I highly recommend these exact seasonings, okay? Badia Sazon Tropical, okay? You can find this in any supermarket. Goya Pitted Alcaparado Olives. It has to be this one, guys. I've tried different olives and it just doesn't taste the same. This one gives the flavor that I'm looking for. It has to be this one. Some pepper, some diced tomatoes. Any brand is fine. Just make sure that they're not seasoned. An onion, a red pepper, and 1 packet of Sazon Tropical, in addition to some garlic that I'll place out here in a second. You're also going to need a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. First thing we're going to do is take these plantains and put them on the baking sheet. We're going to place these in the oven, preheated oven. So if you don't got your oven heated, do that now. You want to heat it at 350. Okay, so just evenly make a nice even layer. Break them up if you need to. This doesn't look good right now, but I'll tell you, the end result is absolutely delicious. Okay. Let's break these babies up. Make a nice even layer. Now I let these defrost for maybe about 30 minutes before I started using them, before I opened up the package. Now that's what it's gonna look like. Let me go ahead and wash my hands. I'll be right back. Okay, we're going to take this and we're gonna drizzle a little bit of olive oil. Just a touch. We're going to put this into a preheated 350-degree oven for 30 to 40 minutes, okay? Now, once I put that in the oven, we're going to go ahead and get started on the meat, so I'll be right back. All right, guys, so this is where we're at in the process now. Now, I have over here the pepper, the onion, roughly chopped with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, a little bit of salt and pepper. And we're going to cook these on medium-high for about anywhere 8 to 12 minutes, depending on how fast it cooks. I want to get these nice and tender. Now, this is going to be the base for a sauce that I'm going to use for the meat so that the meat is not dry. Now, the meat, I've seasoned it already on both sides with some of this stuff right here. Don't forget, this is the one that you need. So we're just going to go ahead and break up the meat like this on medium. I want it to cook. And if it renders any fat, we're going to drain the fat out. We're going to cook this all the way through until it is cooked perfectly. That's probably going to take about 10 minutes, okay? 10 to 12 minutes as well. So let it do its thing, and I'll see you back when this and this is done. All right, we've been cooking for about 10 minutes now. My veggies look like this. So they still got a little bit more to go. Now this right here, I just added 2 cloves of garlic. Thinly sliced. I'm just gonna let that cook for a few minutes. Okay, give it another 3 to 4 minutes. we're just going to continue to stir these around so that they don't burn. No one likes burnt vegetables. Okay, so another few minutes, and then I'll show you the next step. All right, this is the step we're on now. Get out your handy dandy food processor or blender, whichever will work just fine. Pour those veggies up in there. And at this point, we're going to go ahead and get the diced tomatoes. Any brand is fine, just make sure it's not seasoned with anything, okay? Now what I did, as you can see in here, I drained it of all the liquid and I just have the tomatoes in there, okay? So we're just gonna pour that in there. Got the whole thing. And we're going to go ahead and put the top on and blend away. Now, this is really important. The veggies in here are still hot, okay? What I did was I left this piece out for some ventilation, all right? I highly recommend that you go ahead and wait till the vegetables cool, but I'm kind of in a rush right now, okay? Make sure there's ventilation if you're doing it this way, all right? Now, go ahead and pulse on high. What we're going to do is open this up and scrape the sides of the bowl because I do not want any thick vegetables. So let me just go ahead and get a utensil real quick. Okay, just push that down in there. Look how pretty that looks. Back on. Secure it in place and continue to chop. Okay, that right there should be perfect. Let's take a quick look. That right there is the consistency that I am looking for. Now what we're going to do, we're going to take this and we're going to place it in the meat. Now this right here is a crucial step. Reason being because, and I'll give you an example. How many people out there have tried someone's pastelon and it was dry? All right, we don't want dry pastelon. We want something that's nice and flavorful and moist and delicious. So we're gonna season as we go. And we're gonna make sure that it's as flavorful as can be. Okay, so let's get this into the meat. Okay, we're back to the stove top. Now, my mixture rendered me about 2 cups worth of that mixture. Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna use the whole thing. I'll probably only use half, but it's better to have more than not have enough, okay? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take about 1/2 cup of the olives and put it in the meat. Stir it around, let the flavors marry and incorporate. Now, if you'd like, you could go ahead and give the olives a quick chop. As for me, it's fine just like this. Now, little by little, I'm going to take some of that mixture and place it in the meat. Now, I want the meat to be nice and moist, but I don't want it to be completely soggy. Okay? So I'm just going to add as I go. Look how pretty that looks. Smells so good. Grab some more. Now, instead of adding this mixture, you could add some sofrito, and I have a video. And I'll go ahead and I'll link that above. Now, adding a little sofrito is going to be fine too. But my sofrito comes out strong. And I think it'll just be a little too overpowering for this dish. But if you want to add sofrito instead of adding this stuff, that's fine. You can do that if you like. Now, let's get in a little closer. As you can see, there's no liquid at the bottom. So we'll add a little more. This is going to be so nice and flavorful. The meat is going to be seasoned to perfection. It's going to be nice and moist and delicious. Looks good. Looks really good. Okay. Let's just check the bottom of the pan again. Still no liquid. That's perfect. This is just packed full of flavor right here. Add a little more. Okay, this is just right. And as you can see, look at the bottom of the pan. Still no liquid at the bottom. Absolutely perfect. All right, now what we're going to do, we're going to put some of that sazon tropical on this. So let me go ahead and get that. Okay, let's go ahead and add this stuff right here. We're going to add the whole packet, all right? Move this spoon out of the way. This is going to give it a nice deep orangey reddish color. It's also going to give it a lot of flavor as well. Now at this point, we're just going to go ahead and mix this. Make sure everything is nice and covered with that sazon. Now we're going to taste it. Now, don't forget, guys, you know I'm big on no double dipping. So make sure you have a bunch of these little tasting spoons around so you can taste as you go, all right? All right, that tastes delicious. I'll add a little bit of kosher salt, just a little bit. All right, I have about a half a teaspoon of kosher salt. I'm gonna go ahead and add that now. There we go. Now your meat is done. We'll wait for the plantains to be done. In the meantime, let's go ahead and wash our hands. Let's clean up all of the mess that we made, and let's go ahead and get ready to make the dipping sauce that's going to go ahead and go along with this. Okay, to make the garlic sauce that's going to accompany this pastelon, you're going to need 3 chopped garlic cloves, 2 tablespoons of dried parsley, and 1 3.5-ounce jar of capers that have been drained. In here, I have a half a cup of olive oil, and I also have about a half a cup of water on the side that I haven't put in here yet, just in case if I want to thin it out some. So let's go ahead and put the lid on this baby, and let's see how it looks. As you can see here, I still have large chunks of garlic, so let's go ahead and take a look in here and see if I have to add a little bit of water. Yep, I'm gonna have to add that water. All right, I have about a half a cup of water here. Let me add just a little bit, about half of that. Lid on. Consistency looks a lot better. Let's go ahead and get a spoon and let's try this out. Make sure that it's perfect. Look at that. Look how pretty that looks. Let's just take a quick taste. All right, that's absolutely perfect. You can add just a little bit of salt if you like, a little bit of salt and pepper. I'll add a little bit of pepper to this, and then I'm gonna go ahead and plate this so you can see how it looks. So this is what the sauce looks like. Now, when I added the water, I added maybe about 2 tablespoons or so of water. Now, if when you're doing this, if you feel like it's a little too liquidy, by all means, go ahead and add some additional capers or even add some of those olives in there too. Now, I didn't have to add any salt to mine, with the capers were really salty, and the garlic just gave it a really nice bite. But this right here will actually be better tomorrow, okay? The flavors are just, they're just out of this world, I swear. They're so, so good. So this is like the perfect garlic dipping sauce to have with this, okay? But this is the consistency that you're looking for. Still chunky somewhat, but it has nice consistency and not a lot of, it's not very fluid, okay? And that's how it should be. So if you added a little too much water, by all means, you could have added some more extra virgin olive oil. Instead, I chose to do it with the water, but you could always add some more olives or capers, okay? Now, the plantains are out of the oven. Look at how beautiful they look. This is exactly what they should look like, okay? Now, at this point, you're going to need to let these things cool for about 20 minutes or so, or even a little longer, because these are piping hot, and I'm so not trying to get burned. Okay, now what we're gonna need at this point, you're gonna need a pie plate. You're going to need a piece of aluminum foil or parchment paper that you can work with, and you're also going to need a scraper. Okay, and I'll show you what that looks like in just a second, okay? So this here is my workspace. I put some aluminum foil down on my counter along with a piece of pre-cut parchment paper. I have my scraper, and I'm going to use this right here, this tool, to flatten out each and every one of those pieces. When I have them flattened out, then I'm going to go ahead and make it into a crust of sorts. So it's going to be put in layers, nice thin layers, all right? So this is what you're going to need, something like this, or a cup or something where you could go ahead and flatten those babies out so that you can put them in there. All right, let me go ahead and let those cool. I'll be back when those cool and we'll take it to the next step. All right, so we have a piece of maduro right here. We're going to take this and we're going to squish it, and it should come up just like that, and that's exactly what you want. Okay, I'm going to take this and I'm going to place it in the pie plate. There you go. Try to leave no spaces in between the pieces that you place in there. Okay. And we're just going to go ahead and do it in layers, all right? Let's continue the process. Now you're going to want to grab the bigger pieces. It's going to make it a lot easier for you to assemble this. Now, after we have the first layer completed, then we're going to go ahead and put our first layer of meat down. And that's going to be beautiful. So just continue the process until you have the first layer down pat. All right, we got our first layer. Look at how pretty that looks. Now we'll add a layer of meat. All right, we're going to add our first layer of meat. Just spread it evenly, but don't be cheap with the meat either. You want to make sure that each layer has a significant amount of meat. Don't overdo it either. Just pack it down. All right, let me show you how it looks. Look at how pretty. Now we're going to go ahead and take some more of these, flatten those babies out over here, and put them on top of the meat. We're on our way to doing our second layer. All right, so what we're going to end up getting here is 2 layers of meat and 3 layers of the plantains. Now I picked a pie dish just because I like my pie dish and it's been with me for a long time. But by all means, use whatever baking dish you have because this is going to go back into the oven for about 20 minutes. Now I've seen some people add cheese. I'm really indifferent about that. I feel really indifferent about that. I mean, it's okay with the cheese if you like it. You can add cheese if you like on the top. But I want to taste the plantains. I want to be able to taste the meats. I don't want either one of those ingredients being covered or smothered with cheese. This here is all about the plantains. It's all about the meat. Let's keep it simple, people. But by all means, if you want to add it, go ahead and add it. So this is fairly quick to make. You see, everything's coming along nicely. Look at how beautiful. All right, guys, we're on to our second layer of plantains. Let's go ahead and do our second layer of meat. Now, if you're left with a little extra meat, that's fine, not a problem. You just want to make sure that you get enough meat in there and pack it in there real good. I myself have enough meat for this whole dish. I'm not going to be left with any. Okay, very good. All right, onward to our final layer of plantains. Oops. All right. This is going to be so good when it's done. So why don't all of you tell me how you like to make your pastelon? If you have any tips or tricks, by all means, share it in the comments down below. Let me know how you make yours. Is there any special ingredients that you have that you put just to give it that extra little kick? Do you prefer yours spicy? Let me know in the description down below, in the comments down below. All right, we have more than enough plantains here, which is awesome. Now the good thing about purchasing this bag of plantains is I saved myself so much time and stress. I can't even begin to tell you. Now, if you don't like peeling plantains, go ahead and throw me a shout out down below. All right, we're almost done, guys. Okay, I think we're gonna need about 2 more, maybe just 1 more. Yep, that's it. Look at how beautiful. It's completely packed in there. We're going to put this baby in the oven for 20 minutes on 350. See you in 20 minutes. Okay, we got the pastelon in the oven. It's going to be in there for 20 minutes on 350. See you in 20 minutes. All right, here is the final product. This is how the pastelon should look as soon as you take it out of the oven. Now let's go ahead and cut into it and let's plate. Look at this, how beautiful. I'm just going to go ahead and put some of the sauce on the side. And there you have it, guys. Pastelon, or in English, sweet plantain lasagna. Now, if you try this recipe, go ahead and make sure that you leave me a comment down below and let me know how you liked it. If you want to see more recipes like that, go ahead and just leave me a comment down below as well. But just go ahead and give me a thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.